Barbara, the FBI has been watching you.
What?
Barbara, you're no longer even an American citizen. They're claiming you're a Nazi sympathizer.
The Duchess was so disappointed. All she talked about was meeting Cary Grant.
Barbara, I'm Cary Grant every day on the set. For 18 hours a day.
I love you, baby.
Don't say that now. I needed to hear it then, not now.
It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store.
Don't you dare walk out on me! Alice, you forgot something. Your marriage.
Remember this. I advised you against this marriage.
Why do you always have to talk to me like an investment banker? Talk to me like a father.
Barbara!
Stop giving orders. We're not in the Prussian cavalry. We're supposed to be having fun.
Oh, yes.
Well done.
You may be on the tennis court, in bed. I will.
Of course I can hear you. I'm not dead yet.
We will have a son, Barbara. But you've got to help him.
What are you saying?
I don't want Jimmy or any of his friends ever to touch my son. And if you can't follow these orders, I'll take Lance away from you.
You're still living in the Dark Ages.
You are the Countess Haugwitz Reventlow. Because of me.
And because of me, you can afford your fencing lessons again. Oh.
Stay here. You'll love this.
Oh, yes. You were excited. I could see it. I know you, you know. Go out of your way to be punished. I told you I'd take Lance away from you, and now I will.
Permanent custody. Your husband actually threatened you with a gun. Why is he contesting Lance's custody? Is he holding out for more money? Come on, Countess, give us a story.
At one moment he would abuse her, in obscene language, and at the next he would indicate that nothing was too good for her.
It didn't surprise you then when Count Reventlow was arrested carrying a pistol?
With all due reference to my learned friend, Miss Touquet's lack of surprise is of no concern here.
Quite so, Mr. Beckett. Sir Patrick?
I withdraw that question. Miss Touquet, it's been established that Count Reventlow hired certain persons to spy on his wife, accused her of having an affair with Baron von Kram.
He was always accusing her of affairs. Von Kram, Prince Friedrich, none of it was true.
It is all true.
You have first-hand knowledge, Count Reventlow?
I followed her. Had her followed.
Then tell the court, please, where did this supposed affair with Baron von Kram take place? We're waiting.
She saw him frequently.
Indeed she did. In fact, didn't you once spy on your wife during a clandestine meeting with Baron von Kram in a popular cafe, in public, surrounded by other people?
Oh, that was just one of their meetings.
The fact remains that you cannot supply this court with one example of Countess Reventlow being indiscreet.
She was having affairs. I'm telling the truth.
None of it is true. Even if it were, Count Reventlow, we have shown you to be a wife-beater, a sexual deviant, and a sadomasochist. Under such conditions, adultery on the part of your wife, far from being a luxury, would be nearly a necessity.
Asthma attack since the trial began. I'm gonna settle with court, even if it means I have to share custody.
You have a lot more than Lance to worry about.
Not now, darling.
Why not? Who has the luxury anymore to worry just about their own family? Ambassador Kennedy has ordered all Americans to pack up and go home. He says there's going to be a war.
What do you want me to do, Morley? Call Adolf and tell him to stop? I'm sorry.
Barbara, I want Jean and the children out of England, too. My parents live in Ohio.
What about you?
No, I have to stay here. There's a lot I can do here. Little things, maybe, but I can't do anything if I'm worried about them. Please.
I'm not an American anymore. What can I do?
It's impossible to get a berth on any ship leaving England. Everything's restricted. Joe Kennedy is a friend of your family. Perhaps if you talked to him, Barbara, pleaded our case.
No, I wouldn't ask Joe Kennedy. Last time I saw him, he chased me around his desk. About Dorothy. Dorothy DeFrasso.
Sorry?
She's in Genoa. She knows Ciano. He got her a passage on the Conte de Savoia. It leaves for New York in a month. She wrote and asked me to join her. Perhaps we should. If the war is coming, yes. The best move would be for me to take Lance back to the States. Yes. We'll all go together.
Oh, Barbara, thank you.
The nanny is taking Lance to meet Jean and her children at your hotel in Dover at noon. You look pale. Are you still not sleeping? There's nothing to worry about.
It's not that. I just heard from Karl in Berlin. The Gestapo have arrested von Kram.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Because of the charge. Homosexuality. He's been criticizing the Nazis, and now they're trying to disgrace him. I mean, there'll be a trial, but they've already convicted him. Pauline, the Nazis will crucify him.
There's nothing you can do from here. Wait until you get to America. I know von Papen very well. Perhaps he can do something. Here, take these.
War threatens to engulf Europe as Nazi forces launch their blitzkrieg against Poland. Striking over a wide front, German troops and tanks battle the outnumbered Poles. For years, the Nazi Führer has screamed his fury against his enemies, threatening their destruction. Now the Nazi blitzkrieg thunders over Western Europe. The world holds its breath, and at Dunkirk, a miracle happens. An armada of small craft swarms across the Channel and saves the British and Allied armies from destruction. In Britain, the Nazis bring widespread devastation to the capital, but the Londoners answer back defiantly. With the Prime Minister, Mr. Churchill, they join in saying, Britain can take it.
Darling. Barbara, I'm eternally grateful to you.
Haven't done anything yet.
But you've shown up.
Lance, come say hello to the Countess de Faso.
Ah, Barbara, he's precious.
He takes after his mother.
Lucky him.
Off you go.
Oh, Barbara, if you and I can raise here half of what you raised in Palm Beach, it'll be a triumph. You know, people are wondering whether I'm giving these parties for the Allied war effort, or whether, as a gossip columnist with an overbite put it, to make up for marrying an Italian count, and therefore technically an enemy alien.
Dorothy, you said you could do something for Von Kram.
Well, I can put you through to the so-called right people, but they charge for their humanitarianism.
Whatever.
A small fortune.
I have a big one. How do we start?
Well, I can get you through to Mussolini's daughter, Eda Ciano. She can route us through to Berlin. But we'll have to do that from neutral Mexico. It's pretty risky, even so.
Well.
But first, Barbara, there's something I need from you.
Anything.
And for every dollar you donate to this great effort on behalf of the defense of Great Britain against Nazi Germany, Miss Barbara Hutton has agreed to match it. The sky's the limit. Now, let's start at the top and start it big. Which generous, big-hearted soul sitting in front of me is going to write a check for $50,000 for Barbara to match? Oh, I see Mrs. Martin Taylor raising her hand. Yes, Mary? And I see Joe Martinson standing very modestly in the background. Shall we be hearing from you, Joe?
$5,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I don't think I heard you properly. Could you speak up a little, Joe?
$10,000.
Ma'am?
I'd like a gin and tonic, please.
Yes, ma'am.
$50,000.
Ouch. If I were you, I'd take it easy with that stuff. I need a steady hand to sign that check. And before I make my donation, I'll wait till Dorothy moves a little lower down the scale, if that's all right with you.
You're...
Hello, I'm Cary Grant.
Anybody else?
And you're,
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Have to come out of your wallet.
I've admired you in your films.
I've admired you in your newsreels, Miss Hutton. Are you princess or countess these days?
Luckily, neither at the moment.
We're getting up there.
Did anyone ever tell you you're gorgeous?
Did anyone ever tell you you're rich?
I'd rather be gorgeous.
I'd rather be rich.
Yeah, hey, how about an arm around her shoulder there?
I'm sorry, fellas. I can't oblige. Sorry. Thanks very much.
Doesn't it drive you crazy, always being watched?
Well, it depends on who's doing the watching. You see, in my case, it's the price I pay for being a movie star, which I chose to become. Now, you could say that you didn't choose to be $1 million baby.
I didn't choose to.
But to be fair to the great American public, you didn't exactly renounce it either. We're both public property, Barbara. We both have to pay the price.
And if two people were to share that, would it be more or less?
Unless I'm hearing you wrong, that's a pretty leading question.
Oh, you're a pretty leading man.
You know, until now, for some reason, I always imagined you to be the shy withdrawing type.
I usually am. Till I know what I want. Then I make a beeline.
We've raised $250,000 so far this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
For a woman who just parted with $250,000 in matching funds, you look remarkably cool.
It's $250,000 more than you've put in.
Well, yes, but you're spontaneous. I'm not. But like you said, when you see something, you make a beeline for it. That's not what I do. I go and look at it from a distance, and I walk around it, and I look at it from the side, and then I go home and mull it over, and... Well, that's what I usually do. I'm not mulling anything over today. I'm too fascinated.
Too fascinated to mull?
Yeah, far too fascinated to mull. But unless you want to make the columns tomorrow, I suggest we make a beeline back to the party.
But you can never escape.
Sure you can. You simply lock your door, pull the shades, pick your teeth.
Cary Grant does not pick his teeth. I read that somewhere.
Now, Archie Leach does. You.
Too bad we don't have a wishbone.
What would you wish for?
Oh. For Barbara Hutton to be able to lock the door and pull the shades. See who's really there.
You don't know?
Sometimes I do. When I'm with Lance or writing my poetry. But when I'm alone, I become melancholy. I don't know why.
Well, I'm alone with Barbara Hutton, and I'm quite happy.
I can't call you Archie. I just can't.
Can't. All right. Well, I call you after the shades are pulled. Babs?
No. Heavens, no. Oh, with Cary Grant, I'd settle for Hey You.
Hey, you. We have an audience.
Lance, come here, honey.
Won't you join us for a dance? Come on. Atta boy. Sit right in there.
Give me a kiss.
You're a good dancer. Very light on your feet. Get them when they're nice and golden brown. Oh, that's a little too much.
Thanks, General.
You having fun?
I've never had a better meal in a better restaurant in my life. Thank you, Sandra.
Be careful now. Oh, look at mine, huh?
Mine's roasting.
Roughing it a bit, aren't we?
Old habits die hard. You're taking an enormous risk, Dorothy.
What the hell? They think I'm a fascist anyway.
Guilt by marriage, huh?
You're the one who needs to be careful. You've got a career to worry about.
Listen, Von Cram is Barbara's friend. His life's in danger. Seems inappropriate for me to worry about my career at this point.
All right, then. It'll take time, money, and going to Mexico. And we won't be alone. Believe me.
It's at 9 o'clock. It's 10:15.
Barbara, it's an overseas call. These things take time.
I've been going back and forth with them a dozen times. We're talking about a man's life.
Darling, relax. Don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. Take it easy.
Yes? Yes, it is.
I have a long-distance call for her.
She's right here. Hello. This is Barbara Hutton.
Barbara, this is Gottfried.
Gottfried.
It's so good to hear your voice.
Gottfried, I can barely hear you.
I'm very anxious about the money, Barbara. They need the money.
Yes, we're arranging it through Mussolini's daughter. Countess de Frasso is doing everything she can. The money is coming directly from Zurich to Berlin.
Thank God. And when? And how?
Gottfried, listen to me. Whatever it takes to get you out, I'll do.
Where are you?
Mexico.
Oh, God. What I wouldn't give to be there with you.
Gottfried.
Barbara, please.
Gottfried? Gottfried? Operator, he's gone.
Oh. Don't worry, Barbara. They won't kill him. For what you're paying, they need your money more than they need him.
Barbara, this is Dr. Worth here.
Dr. Worth, what's wrong?
It's about your father. He collapsed this morning, and you'd better get a plane out here as soon as you can.
Daddy? Daddy, this is your grandson, Lance. Your grandson. Here's your grandfather. He loves you very much. Don't you, Daddy? Didn't I tell you Grandpa always loved you? Wait for me outside, darling. Irene told me you've been sick a couple of months. Daddy, why didn't you tell me?
Didn't want to worry you.
But it would have broken my heart if...
I couldn't think of what to say to you.
You've never known what to say to me.
I love you, baby.
Don't say that now. I needed to hear it then, not now. What do you want me to do? what to do. All the way here, I'm thinking, what do I say to this man? That I love him? All is forgiven. And please, God, don't let him tell me he loves me. Not now.
I don't think I've ever really felt love. My whole life I wanted to love somebody, but I never could. Why?
Not even Mama. Were Mama and I so much alike that you couldn't?
Your mother died because of me. After that, I couldn't.
I know. If she loved me so much, how could she leave me with the likes of you?
Did I say that?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Thank you.
I love you. Don't ever forget that. You'll take care of Irene.
Of course.
She's lost without him. It's funny, I feel a little lost too.
Worried about you.
Fine, Graham. At least I will be.
No, I'm not talking about Frankel's death. Nothing. Barbara, the FBI has been watching you.
What?
You, Carrie, and Dorothy DeFrasso, they trailed you through Mexico. They know you've been in contact with the Nazis in Berlin.
To pay the damn ransom.
Barbara, you're no longer even an American citizen. They're claiming you're a Nazi sympathizer.
Graham is not a Nazi. He's a victim of the Nazis.
But that's not the way they see it, and that's not what they're leaking to the press. Barbara, they can destroy you. And Carrie.
Carrie doesn't give a damn what the press thinks about him. Neither do I. Not anymore.
Barbara Van Cram is out of jail, thanks to you. But they sent him as a private soldier to the Russian front.
Oh, no.
And now the press is calling you something pretty close to a traitor. What do you think you've accomplished?
The battleships of the American fleet lie severely damaged after the surprise attack by Japanese bombers at Pearl Harbor on December 7th. And while the armed forces retaliate for what President Roosevelt called the Day of Infamy, the people of America mobilize for the war effort. In San Francisco, sandbags are piled against windows and doorways in preparation for an air attack. Instead of stepping on the gas, millions of car owners are having to stand in line for it. A permit for unlimited gasoline is only for those who can prove their work makes it essential. Times Square, in the heart of New York, has an air raid rehearsal. Public transport vehicles are halted, and air raid wardens escort the passengers to underground shelters. For once, the wild rush of trolley cars, buses, and taxis is still.
Just a minute, champ. Let me have another couple turns just to make sure the track's okay. But don't touch that, all right? All aboard the New York Central. Overnight at the Montreal, we stop. In all
Mommy! Boys, take turns.
Well, I knew you always liked him better than me. Okay, go ahead. Hold it a second. Put your cap on. You can't run a train without your cap. And be careful, there's a lot of sharp turns coming up. You break this train, you won't get another one till the war's over.
Barbara?
In here, darling. Would you like a drink?
Barbara, what did the doctor say? It's me, isn't it?
Would you like a drink?
No, darling, what did the doctor say?
Would it be so bad if Lance were our only child? He loves you. You love him.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it was me. Darling, I really wanted a child. I did. I mean, it's the only purpose of a marriage, isn't it? I don't know what to say. I'm terribly sorry for the both of us.
It isn't you. It's me. The doctor said I can't have one. When I had Lance, there was an infection, and they weren't sure at the time what the permanent effect would be. I'm sorry.
Darling, it's not your fault you had an infection.
No, it's not just that I can't. I'm not sure I could even stand the thought of having another child. Even if I could. Childhood is empty and lonely and sad. I suppose I betrayed our marriage. Oh, God. Lance, come here.
Say, champ, would you come down here, please? Come on. That's a fella. Now, let's sit down here, okay? Listen. Any way you look at it, this ain't the Andy Hardy family. You've got a beautiful but weird mother, a limey stepfather. But don't you think for a moment that we don't love you. Okay? It's gonna be all right.
Grant?
No, Jen. You okay?
Yeah.
Get some sleep now. See you in the morning.
Hey, you.
Is this my cue? It's past midnight.
I'm sorry, Barbara. The picture's behind schedule, so we're working late. I don't like working late. I hate working late.
You've been late every night for the past 2 weeks. There was a dinner party tonight.
Yes, I know.
You could have called. The Duchess was so disappointed. All she talked about was meeting Cary Grant.
Barbara, I'm Cary Grant every day on the set. For 18 hours a day. I have to be Cary Grant.
I married Cary Grant.
Well, maybe you thought so. Maybe even I thought so. But the truth is, you married Archie Leach. And he doesn't enjoy entertaining an endless succession of dried-out old prunes from the dimmer recesses of the English and Scottish countryside.
What's wrong with my friends being excited about seeing you? I certainly was.
Barbara, your friends come here like tourists. They meet my friends and expect us to entertain them like court clowns. It's exhausting, for one thing.
My friends are sophisticated and very undemanding.
Most of them are deposed monarchs or runaway aristocrats with little to do and less to say.
Is that how you see me?
Well, sometimes you put on that tiara and prance around here like a princess without... Barbara, what do these people have to do with us? I thought that you and Lance and I were going to be a family, not a sideshow.
I thought so, too. These people are my friends. All you ever want to be with are your friends.
I can relax with them.
And what about me? You say you want to come home and be yourself. But you surround yourself with spoiled, egotistical children who make a living pretending to be someone they're not. I'll take my friends any day.
All right, fine, you can have them.
Where are you going?
To the guest room.
Good, consider it yours.
I hate Cary Grant!
I love Cary Grant. Good morning.
Good morning. Barbara, darling, how many square feet do you think this house has? Go ahead and take a guess. 8? 10,000? Would you settle for 10?
10.
Then why does it take 29 full-time staff to run a house for 3 occupants?
Not this morning, please.
Why do we get 6 copies of every newspaper delivered here every morning? 6 varieties, 6 Hollywood reporters, 6 LA Times? And what's this?
It's for Sandra.
Sandra who?
Sandra.
The maid? $10,000 for the maid? For what?
For a wedding present. And I'm going to give her a party. And I'm going to serve. And she's going to come dressed in my jewels and my clothes. And all my guests are going to come dressed as servants, and all the servants dressed as guests.
Sounds like a silly idea to me.
By the way, why didn't you tell me about the part they were going to offer me in your movie, Mr. Lucky?
Because I told them no.
You're not going to do it?
No, you're not going to be in it. You don't need the money, and frankly, I don't need the aggravation.
I'll buy the studio and fire you. Court, am I disturbing you?
No, darling.
I have something to show you.
What's this?
Look inside the collar.
Lance Grant?
And there's something else. This isn't the first letter I've come across. It's to Barbara. It's written in a special little code they have worked out between them.
She writes him in code?
Why don't you ask him what it says? I have him right outside.
Send him in.
Lance? Lance, your father wants to speak to you.
Peggy said you wanted to see me.
Come here. Come here. What's this?
What?
You know damn well what. This. And this.
Mom put it in.
But you didn't object, did you? You're not Cary Grant's son, Lance. You're mine. Do you call him Dad?
General. I call him General.
And this? Peggy says there are others.
You went through my stuff? You had no...
What does it say?
Nothing.
What does it say? I want an answer. Now.
To hell with my father. I hope he drops dead.
Peggy?
Yes, my love.
We're leaving here. We'll move where she can't get at him. He'll never see that bitch again.
The victory in Europe and rejoicing all over the world is the greater because of the recollection of the triumphs over Nazi barbarism and its final overthrow.
London certainly had as much right as anywhere to celebrate victory, and London certainly did. Naturally, approaches to Buckingham Palace were almost continually jammed.
Following the capitulation of German forces, the president said that the immediate priority was the invasion of the mainland of Japan.
Court has taken Lance to Canada, Graham. I don't care if it takes my own invasion. I want him back. I want him back.
The court claims you prejudiced the boy against him. He'll go to trial to try to prove it. That could take a long time.
I want my son back.
Then he has two conditions. First, your visitation rights with Lance apply only as long as you remain in the United States, live abroad, and you have custody of him only during his summer vacations. And you're to increase Lance's trust fund from $1.5 to $5 million, with court permitted to live from the trust's income.
I'll sign whatever I have to. It always comes down to money, doesn't it? Money. Well, not you, Carrie. You're the only man I've ever known who couldn't be bought. The only husband I've ever
Barbara.
had.
Not now.
Graham knows. Everybody knows. We've only been holding on for Lance's sake. That's all. I think we've lost the fight, don't you? I'll be damned if I'm gonna lose my son, too. I'm gonna get him back. Lance, darling, I know you're unhappy, but Tucson has one of the best boarding schools in the country. Oh, come on.
2 coffees, hamburger, and a chocolate shake.
Got some fries, honey? A large order of fries. Heavy on the ketchup, honey. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Right away.
Mommy, now that you and General are divorced, why can't you stay here with me?
Think about it, sweetheart. I can't stay here. I can't go shopping at the local supermarket. I can't live on hamburger and French fries. Besides, look what just happened. All I have to do is walk down the street and somebody ends up in the hospital.
Then let me go to Paris with you.
I'd like nothing better. But I can't take you out of the country. Not during the school year. And the doctor says that Arizona is the best climate for your asthma. It's a terrific school.
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you too. Think what we have to look forward to. Every holiday, every summer, I'll take you to magic castles and ancient forts.
But I want to be with you.
Lance, I'm just not the kind of mother who can live in Tucson, Arizona. I'm sorry.
Here are some scenes from the next episode of Poor Little Rich Girl.
I can make you happy, Barbara.
What on earth makes you think that? Yes, I'm seeing Trubetskoy. There's nothing in our divorce agreement that says I should live in a convent.
No, no! What you want is for me to look after you. I will. I always look after my husbands.
Baby, from the violent and store.
make you happy, Barbara.
What on earth makes you think that? Yes, I'm seeing Trubetskoy. There's nothing in our divorce agreement that says I should live in a convent. No, no! What you want is for me to look after you. I will. I always look after my husbands.
Baby, from the 5 and 10 cent store.
It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store.
Blackmail? Exciting.
Otherwise, we are fully prepared to be married under a waterfall by a pagan priestess.
For God's sakes, no.
For God's sake, don't let him take the upper hand.
I didn't marry him to play games, Pauline.
Don't do that again.
What?
Try to give orders in bed.
We're not in bed. Court, that hurts.
I know you love perversity.
It's been established that Count Reventlow hired certain persons to spy on his wife.
He was always accusing her of affairs. None of it was true.
She was having affairs. I'm telling the truth.
You're...
Hello, I'm Cary Grant. And you're,
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. You know, until now, I always imagined you to be the shy, withdrawing type.
Oh, usually I am. Till I see something I want. Then I make a deal.
Barbara, what did the doctor say? It's me, isn't it?
It's me. I'm not sure I could even stand the thought of having another child.
I thought that you and Lance and I were going to be a family, not a sideshow.
I thought so, too.
It's to Barbara. It's written in a special little code they have worked out between them.
She writes him in code? He'll never see that bitch again.
Court has taken Lance to Canada, Graham. I don't care if it takes my own invasion. I want him back.
We've only been holding on for Lance's sake. That's all. I think we've lost the fight, don't you? to do. Not my father, not my husband. Oh, I feel free. I want to celebrate. I want to party. I'm so happy to see you. Call Jean and Morley. Get them over here. And I want to see Jimmy. Call Jimmy.
Barbara, Jimmy was booted out of the army with a dishonorable discharge for a lack of discretion in his after-hours activities, shall we say. I doubt if he's in much of a mood to celebrate.
Oh, no one ever bothered to teach him right from wrong. You think a sergeant from Flatbush could? Besides, dishonorable for Jimmy is a badge of distinction. My dearest Lance, I miss you so much and wish I could hold you now. Now, when the world is back celebrating, you should be my escort. Soon, darling. Stay healthy. I love receiving your letters. Until the next one, all my love, Mommy.
Sir Charles and Lady Percy, His Royal Highness, the Duke of Windsor, and Her Grace the Duchess, Mr. Zoe Cowers, and Miss Gertrude Lawrence, Prince and Princess of Churchoveze, Honorable David Herbert and Miss Julia Stans.
I am sorry. I hope you don't feel too miserable about it all.
Will you stop it? Any more condolences and I will puke. Now, my dishonorable discharge had no more effect on me than your dishonorable husband's had on you.
Oh, charming.
Miss Barbara Hutton and Mr. James Donahue. Major John Hayes and Miss Val Mayer. Captain and Mrs. Dawes. Lord Harry Hayes and Lady Dawn Morland.
David Herbert.
Hello, Barbara.
Wonderful to see you. I heard you had a terrible time, your ship being torpedoed.
Water over the bridge, darling. Care to dance?
I'd love to.
Jimmy, sorry to hear about the discharge.
It's a lovely bracelet, Pauline.
Ah, it's a little gift from Barbara.
Bet you didn't even have to ask her for it.
You must have a secret potion.
For what?
You never change. After all these years, you're just as handsome as ever.
As a matter of fact, I do have a secret. And I'm going to share it with you. I want you to come somewhere with me to a very, very special place, a magical place. And for you who love magic, it'll be like a fairyland.
I don't believe in fairy tales anymore, David.
If I can prove they're real, will you come with me?
Where?
Tangier. It's a wonderful place on the African coast. It's international, has its own laws. You'll adore it.
Tangier. Yes, if you can prove fairy tales.
Then close your eyes for a moment.
What?
Come on.
Where are you going?
It's all right, I'm here.
Where are you?
I'm right behind you. Now open them and then tell me that you don't believe in fairy tales.
My God. Oh, Gottfried, my darling.
David wants me to go to Tangier.
And?
It's quiet, private. He says life is slower and easier. I need that now. I need to quit running.
I kept rehearsing what I was going to say to you. Thank you didn't seem to be enough.
Oh, having you here is enough.
You saved my life, Barbara. I don't know how to repay you. Except to say I love you for all what you have done for me.
I love you too.
I don't mean just as friends. They accused me of terrible crimes. It was politics. To be a German, a world athlete, and anti-Nazi was too much of a threat to accept that.
Let me look at you. Do you know what I see? The gentlest man I've ever known. And the bravest. We've both been accused of things we never could have done.
Will you spend the night with me?
Just one night.
I'm leaving tomorrow. Must return to Germany.
After what they've done to you?
Barbara, you're always in my thoughts. It's always my country. It's so devastated now. I've got to go.
But if you go, any night.
Here we are, Barbara, my dear. Sidi Hosnick.
If you want to buy this place, Barbara, you're going to have to give me power of attorney.
So you can sign my life away. You're such a dear boy, Graham.
Generalissimo Franco just bid $50,000 for this place.
Double it. happy to see you. Let me look at you.
Yeah, I'm fine.
From the 5 and 10 cent store, he was selling China.
Never seen a woman like her.
The children here worship her. They say she helps support half the families in Tangier. I wonder what it's like to have everything.
Miss Hutton, Prince Igor Nikolaevich Trubetskoy, at your service. What do you give a woman who has everything, needs nothing, and is more beautiful than the rose itself?
What did you say your name was?
Prince Igor Nikolaevich Trubetskoy.
Please, join me.
Trubetskoy. Sounds like a name from a fairy tale.
Trubetskoy.
What is it?
I just thought about you riding around on your bicycles.
I raced them. Does that embarrass you?
No. No, I find it rather appealing. Grown man going around pedaling a bike. Where do you go?
Wherever the course leads me.
Do you follow the course?
It's all marked out. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you don't.
But you always follow the course.
And I always finish.
You're very sweet.
I can make you happy, Barbara.
What on earth makes you think that?
I can love you. Be gentle.
And keep me on course.
You chart your own course. You always have. I think we complement one another. And you need to fall in love.
Yes, but with whom?
Why not me? Is that so unpleasant?
No. But I don't want to be dominated.
I don't want to dominate you.
And I'm terrified of being alone.
Then, if nothing else, I can ease your terror. You may never love me, but it will be enough that I love you. What could possibly be wrong with that?
Igor. Come on. Court, Tangier has a marvelous school. I could get him tutors. But he doesn't live with you. He lives in a boarding school. Why not let him live with me? You'd see him just as much as you do now. Yes, I'm seeing Trubetskoy. Why shouldn't I? There's nothing in our divorce agreement that says I should live in a convent. No, we're not doing anything in front of him. Oh, for God's sake, Court. Just let him stay 2 more weeks. We're having such a good time.
I don't want to go back.
You have to.
You can keep me here.
Don't you think I want to?
I don't know. Do you?
do you mean you don't know? The agreement says I can keep you for holidays.
Then break the agreement.
If I break the agreement, I can lose custody of you forever. Lance? Lance? Every time we part, something leaves me and it never comes back. I see it in him too.
Lance will get over it. The young live from moment to moment. The pain of one day is forgotten the next.
Why is it people always assume the young can survive anything? It's not true, you know.
And now the latest in the Hutton Stakes. Once a princess, always a princess. Barbara Hutton takes a fourth after a whirlwind romance. America's poor little rich girl finds her Prince Charming. Again.
Hey, make some room. Make some room here.
How does it feel to be married again, Barbara?
It feels like the first time.
How are you feeling, Princess?
I've never been happier.
How was the honeymoon?
It's gonna last another 30 or 40 years. Please put my bags in there, and my husband's in here.
What are you talking about? We share the same room.
Don't make a fuss. I'm very tired.
But we always share the same room.
And we will again, my prince, when I feel up to it. Thank you, Doctor. Next Tuesday at 3. Good morning, sir.
Bonjour.
Excuse me. Dr. Heinrich?
Yes?
She'll see you now. It's Dr. Heinrich.
Bonjour, princesse. Comment allez-vous?
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. Why are there all these doctors?
Why don't you ask her?
All right, I will.
Not just now.
What are you doing?
Nothing to worry about. Vitamin B12, that is all.
This is insane.
Au revoir, princesse. À la semaine prochaine. See you next week. Prince?
You don't eat. You don't sleep. You exist on coffee and cigarettes. You need pills to go to bed. You need pills to get up. You need pills to go out. You need pills to stop you from shaking.
What I don't need is a petulant boy telling me what to do.
In Tangiers, you said what you liked about me was that I was like a boy.
You fell in love with a fantasy, Igor. Perfectly content that I couldn't love you. You promised me companionship with no demands. Now you're making them.
Because I want to look after you.
No, no! What you want is for me to look after you. I will. I always look after my husbands. I will. Just let me be. Go, let me be. Yes, operator, Lance Reventlow. Oh, God. Reventlow. Lance? Lance, it's Mummy. Hello, darling. Oh, I can barely hear you. What do you mean you're asleep? What time do they make you go to bed out there? Oh, I don't know what time it is. What difference does it make?
The papers say you're divorcing Igor. Is that true?
Yes.
Don't you love him?
No.
Then why did you marry him if you didn't love him?
He loved me. It doesn't seem to happen very often. Oh. Anyway, I thought I could learn to love him back, but... Do you have many friends at school?
Not many.
Did I tell you once I tried to bribe a little girl into liking me, and, seems I couldn't offer her enough. So instead of liking me, she ended up hating me. Just seems like I don't have enough for anyone.
You could be right. Is that all?
Yes, I just wanted to talk to you. That's all. I know you're flying out in a week, but I still miss you.
Mom, I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep phoning me. They don't like it here at the school, and I don't like it either.
Yes, of course. I understand. You go back to sleep. I love you. The real tragedy would be if they lived. Think of catching up with them 20 years later.
What are you talking about?
Romeo and Juliet. Married for 20 years. There's the tragedy.
Well, at least they died together. Dying alone. That'd be worse.
Tragedy.
Speaking of tragedy, are you really gonna marry that shark skin suited, greasy Ruby Rose?
Why not? He has a certain reputation with the women in bed. It's legendary.
You're really gonna do it, aren't you?
What?
You're gonna kill yourself with the booze and the pills and the high lives and the low lives.
I'll race you.
It's not who gets there first, it's how you enjoy the trip. I'm way ahead of you.
Not after I marry Ruby.
Juliet,
Mm.
here will I remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids.
Oh, what a day! Water is great. I'm starving. Can I get some breakfast, please? You gonna go in?
Later.
Thank you. Just use this. Oops.
God, is that normal?
What?
All that food in one stomach?
Well, one of us has got to eat, right?
Okay, Lance. What's her name?
Who? What do you mean?
I've been your mother for how many years now? 17?
Her name's Sally.
Oh, Sally. And where's she from?
You mean what club does she belong to?
You're getting pretty sassy, you know that?
I'll tell you what. I'll invite her to dinner. You can judge for yourself.
Okay. You choose the night and the place. Suppose I don't like her.
Well, suppose she doesn't like you.
Mother has her ways.
Whoa!
Thank you, Patricia.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, so was I the first time I met her. But you'll get used to her. Come on, Mom doesn't like me to be late. Sorry, we're late.
I slipped.
Yeah. You've been doing a lot of that lately. Let's go, Sally.
Lance.
Come on.
Lance! 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 Lance, come here. Lance!
were you? Your companion, Miss Hutton.
Oh. My what?
Don't you remember? Last night at the club? There were 3 of us. You said we made you laugh.
Did you spend the night here?
Look. You said you couldn't sleep, needed company. So I volunteered.
What'd I give you? My earrings? My bracelets?
You said you would take care of me later.
So we're friends. What if I give you a check to stay or to go? Which do you prefer?
Same amount either way? This is...
I know what it is. Which will it be?
Sleep well.
Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. And here's the news from the poor little rich girl front. Barbara Hutton denied a suicide attempt, saying life is wonderful as she dated legendary Latin lover Porfirio Rubirosa. Meanwhile, he denied a romance with Zsa Zsa Gabor, only to fly out to Las Vegas to see her, saying, "We will wed," and promptly lost $50,000 on the tables. Well, Babs Hutton paid off his gambling debts, but before the presses stopped running on that one, Barbara took the fifth and married the lover boy. Then they went off on a spending spree that would make her eyebrows curl. Babs bought him 64 silk suits in one day. Boy, was he a looker. Babs didn't stop there. She bought him a converted B-25 bomber for a wedding present. Ruby promptly used it to fly back to Zsa Zsa. And so, Babs sold the plane. Well, after that, folks, it was curtains for Babs. And Ruby.
What's the property settlement? How much is he getting? Come on, Miss Hutton, have you divorced Rubirosa?
Divorce him? I didn't even know I'd married him.
What's the property settlement?
Oh, you married him, all right. For that
7.5 weeks of marital bliss, he collected $1 million in gifts and $2.5 million in cash. That's more than $66,000 a day. Did he at least live up to his legend?
General.
Happy
Thanks
birthday.
for coming.
Welcome. Sure wouldn't miss it for the world. Just a casual little pool party, huh? Complete with black tie, champagne, and caviar. Must have been your mother's idea.
Yeah, well, it sure wasn't mine.
I got a little something for you.
Thanks, General.
You're welcome.
Thanks a million. So, where's that wonderful mother of mine? She's over 30 minutes late for her own party, and there's something special that I wanted to meet.
Well, here's an old friend of ours.
Lance!
Oh, my God.
Congratulations. Don't get to be 21 more than once. At least I didn't. Oh, thank you. Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Jimmy. Good to see you.
You too.
Listen, excuse me a minute, would you, fellas?
Sure.
Jimmy, the invitation said black tie. Now, come on, look, even I put a monkey suit on for the occasion.
But your mother said evening dress. Anyway, I am prepared for both. Where's your mother?
I don't know. She, didn't bother to make it on my 21st birthday.
Oh, don't worry, she will.
Yeah, when? When everyone's left? Now, listen, Jimmy, there's someone I want you to meet. Jill? This is my cousin, Jimmy. Jimmy? My fiance.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
You're what?
Jill St. John. Jill's an actress.
Really? Well, I read somewhere where you were a starlet. When did you become an actress?
When I learned to play house with your cousin. When did you?
Uh-huh.
So, you think your next father is here today?
That's very funny, Jimmy.
If I were you, I'd put my money on Gottfried von Kram.
Von Kram, my God, why?
Because he's kind and he's gentle. Your mother should have married him years ago. Speaking of which, what are you planning to do with your life?
Well, I can tell you what's going to be an important part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes? What?
Be more fun to show you. You free tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Good. Oh, bring Mother. She'll like it.
Here are some scenes from the concluding episode of Poor Little Rich Girl.
I have no magic. My grandfather said there would be magic. Where is my magic?
Face it, you never wanted a child.
How can you say that?
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a real son of a bitch.
No man could love you.
Don't you think I know that? grandfather said there would be magic. Where is my magic?
Face it, you never wanted a child.
How can you say that?
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a real son of a bitch.
No man could love you.
Don't you think I know that?
It was a lucky April shower. It was the most convenient dawn. I found $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, just step inside my cottage door and meet the $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store. The rain continued for an hour. I hung around for 3 or 4. Around $1 million baby in a 5 and 10 cent store. She was selling china, and when she made those eyes, I kept buying china until the crowd got wise. Incidentally, if you should run into a shower, step inside my cottage door and meet my $1 million baby from the 5 and 10 cent store.
It's a pleasure and an honor to meet one of the greatest tennis players in the world.
It's a pleasure and an honor to meet one of the most famous women in the world. Though her fame hardly lives up to her looks.
There's nothing to worry about.
It's not that. I just heard from Karl in Berlin. The Gestapo have arrested Von Kraft.
He's one of nature's losers.
Godfrey, listen to me. Whatever it takes to get you out, I'll do.
A small fortune.
I have a big one.
Now open them and then tell me that you don't believe in fairy tales.
Oh, my God. Mom! Lance!
What do you give a woman who has everything, needs nothing, and is more beautiful than the rose itself?
How are you feeling, Princess?
I've never been happier.
How was the honeymoon?
It's gonna last another 30 or 40 years.
We always share the same room.
And we will again, my prince, when I feel up to it.
You need pills to go to bed. You need pills to get up. You need pills to go out. You need pills to stop you from shaking.
What I don't need is a petulant boy telling me what to do.
Okay, Lance. What's her name?
Who?
Suppose I don't like her.
I saw I would.
I slipped.
You've been doing a lot of that lately. Let's go, Sally.
Lance?
Come on.
Lance? Lance?
At the end of the 15th lap, car number
number 2, driven by Bernardo, is closely followed by Reventlow in the Scarab. Mankiewicz moves up to 4th place, but Bernardo's still holding. He's holding on with Reventlow closing. There goes Gippy. Reventlow still closing on Bernardo. Borshak closes on Mankiewicz. Borshak is still closing, but Reventlow and Bernardo are still out ahead of the pack. Reventlow
Take it right easy.
I'm all right.
Here you are, kid.
All right.
Oh, don't try to get up. Don't.
Come on. You all right, Harvard? Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. Scared as heck. Well, I'm sorry.
Liz, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We're too old for this.
Oh, baby. Oh, your hand.
Yeah, it's okay. Look, I'm going.
Help him.
Mom.
Jill, come here. I want you to promise me something. That race Lance will never get into another racing car.
How can I promise you that?
I don't care how.
I'm not in charge of his life. Even if we were married, I still wouldn't just tell him what to do.
Threaten him. Say you'll never see him again. Look, I'll give you these. Just promise me.
I don't want
You'll never race again.
Barbara, I love him. I'll try. But if I can't do it for love, I'm certainly not going to do it for money.
Take care of your hand.
You cannot buy my life.
I could never have afforded this house on my own, Barbara. Thank you.
What am I going to do without you?
Just what you've always done, just what you felt like doing.
Was I that difficult?
I've been with you for nearly 40 years. How difficult could it have been?
We had some good times, didn't we, Tiki?
Too many to count.
Oh.
Oh, Barbara. People are so unfair to you. And you are so generous. Winfield House cost you millions of dollars, and you gave it to the American government for the ambassador to live in. You sent $1 million to the Free Friends during the war, and who knows of it?
General de Gaulle, for one.
And all the checks for hospitals and schools. Everything is kept so secret. Only the parties and the jewels and the clothes, they're not kept so secret. Why, Barbara? Why not tell the people all the good that you do?
It doesn't make any difference. I'd say I only did it for the publicity. Anyway, I am going to make me happy.
You really are going to marry Baron von Kram?
Yes, I'm going to marry him. Maybe he can help me find what I'm looking for. When we get back from our honeymoon, you'll come to Paris and stay with us. It'll be just like old times.
I've been around the world 10 times keeping up with you. Loving it and hating it. I can't keep up anymore.
Sometimes I can't either.
Then sit for a while.
Oh, it's
scared sitting. It's as if something's chasing me. It's gonna catch up.
Oh, Barbara, you always need to seek the magic, even when you know all the tricks. Nobody knows that better than I do.
Tiki, Tiki. Oh. Darling? Gottfried, I'm back. Put those in there, please. Darling? I have a present for you.
I'm so sorry.
Barbara.
Don't apologize. I always knew. I married you knowing you knew that. I just didn't think I'd have to confront it this way. Pauline, call Gene and Morley. Call, what's his name? You know, the hairdresser, Franceschi. I want to have a great party.
Janine, à qui portez-vous ce verre?
Oh, madame. Janine, where's the Baroness?
In the bedroom, madame.
Is that for her?
Oui.
I'll be back in a minute.
Hello.
Oh, nice to see you. Billy White is coming, and the Darjans, and Sasha. I've taken over the Cote d'Or, and Josephine's going to dance for us. They'll be talking about it for months.
Wonderful, darling. You know how Morley and I just love your parties.
Morley, where is he?
Oh, he's outside. Where's Gottfried?
Let's not talk about that. That could be too bizarre.
Perhaps when your chauffeur brought us the invitation, he gave me this. He said it was a present from you.
Yes, why aren't you wearing it?
Oh, it's very sweet of you, darling, but I couldn't possibly. It must be worth a fortune.
You loved it when I wore it at the Sandersons'
Oh, no, it's beautiful, darling. But diamond bracelets are just not my style. You know me, the original pearls and sweater girl.
Pearls? I've got pearls. You want pearls? Take pearls.
It's just that sometimes you can be a little over-generous. It's a bit overpowering. One's always afraid to admire anything of yours or simply give it away.
Others don't seem to object to it. When I gave Pauline my flat in the south of France, she loved it.
Pauline is... Pauline.
And the Kennerleys are different. You think I'm trying to buy you? Is that what you think? That I can buy anyone I want? Gee, surely you and Morley can't be bought.
After all these years, Barbara, you should know.
Well, I don't. Having a mass of money doesn't let you know whether you're being generous or buying them. Don't you see that?
It's a problem I might rather enjoy.
Oh, would you? You know how I feel? Worth millions. Worth nothing.
Hi. Can I come in?
Morley. God. Gene's being incredibly boring. I need cosseting. Cosseting? Remember, that's what Court wanted to do to me. Would you like to cosset me, Morley?
Barbara.
Would you like to? Go away with me for a week. I mean, we should have done it years ago.
You don't mean that.
Don't tell me what I mean. I'm sick and tired of Tippy-toeing around this frumpy little housefrau of yours. We should have been lovers as well as friends. And we will be.
That's enough. I'm not gonna stand here and...
And what? You'll stay. Because I'm paying. I'm paying for you all.
Barbara, stop it. I don't know what's happened to make you behave like this, but you just listen to me. Morley and I loved you. Part of us always will. But we can't stand around and watch you humiliate yourself like this.
Then don't watch! Don't watch! You're such a hypocrite, Jean. Pauline is Pauline. You and Morley have done well by me. Remember that! Drink up, everybody! Fun's on me.
Non, ne vous inquiétez pas, Barbara est juste un peu nerveuse aujourd'hui.
I thought she'd phone. Apologize.
It's probably better this way. I don't want to be around for the end. You?
She doesn't want us around. That was the whole point.
Janine? Madame, pack my bags.
We are taking this table. You can't.
No, this is our table.
No.
No.
You are
È il nostro tavolo questo, no? No, abbiamo prenotato questo noi, no? È il nostro tavolo. Ma no, non è giusto.
Baroness, you are the belle of the ball this evening.
Belle of the ball? She invited herself.
Baroness, let me look. It's fantastic. Oh, it's exquisite. Just like you. What did she say? She said you were exquisite. She wants the bracelet. Oh, why shouldn't she want it? When you're young and beautiful, you should have anything you want.
Oh, you clumsy fool. Pick it up.
Excuse me, Miss Hutton. I think you dropped this.
Hey, wait a minute, Buster. Did she actually call you Buster?
I think she actually did. Allow me.
What are you doing? She gave that to me. Would you please just leave us alone?
We both will. Shall we?
Good night, Pauline. A wonderful time with these wonderful people.
Thank you, darling.
I never. She was going to give it to me. Oh, I want a drink. Who are you?
James Douglas, the third.
James Douglas the Third. Are there any more at home like you?
No, just me. I have a trust fund and I can live wherever I like, Miss Hutton.
Miss Hutton? Miss Hutton? I think you can call me Barbara, don't you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. There's a story they tell here in Venice about the young Casanova and a beautiful but haughty lady, a duchess.
Careful, I used to be a princess.
Don't interrupt. Casanova and the Duchess were both traveling, and by chance happened to be staying overnight at the same inn. Naturally, he was fascinated, but try as he might, he could not find a way to meet her. Finally, in desperation, he crept silently into her room in the middle of the night and made passionate love to her. Still, not a word spoken between them.
Go on.
The next morning, as the Duchess was taking her breakfast at the inn, Casanova saw his chance. He strode confidently to her table, and with a bow and a flourish, he began to speak. Madam. A long pause. The Duchess turned and spoke to him for the first time. Young man, an amorous encounter does not constitute a formal introduction. And with that, she turned on her heels and left.
Oh, no.
So, Barbara.
James.
Good morning, Barbara.
Don't you Barbara me. I've been calling. I left messages. I sent gifts for which I have yet to receive a thank you. Thank you.
Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee? About the gifts, I sent them back to the shops. Do you really think so little of yourself that you think you've got to buy my friendship? Why do you go on like this? Buying everyone lavish gifts, whether you know them or not.
People expect me to behave in a certain way. Why disappoint them?
So you've become a drunken, pill-popping, insecure little girl who still thinks she's got to pay for her husbands, her friends, her companions?
Aren't you being a little harsh for a new friend?
It's time you had a friend who was a little harsh with you, Barbara. I can't be your friend, not a true one, and not be a little harsh.
Stay with me.
If I do, no pills, no drinking, and no leeches. You've bled enough.
Pauline? I can count on her.
You sure can, but not while I'm with you. Deal?
Have you ever been to Cuernavaca?
What do you mean I'm not going?
James and I want to be alone.
We used to be inseparable.
Yes, we did.
That new house there, I haven't seen it.
There's no need for you to.
I can't believe it. You're going to Mexico without me.
James thinks it would be better.
James! Since when does James make the decisions?
Since when do you?
Refill?
Leave it to Mother.
What?
Japanese mansion in the middle of Mexico with a Mexican staff dressed as Japanese servants. And you.
And what about him? It's wonderful to see you.
Why'd you invite me down here, Mom?
For heaven's sakes, I wanted to see you. You're my son.
Well, that's a rather fresh approach for you.
Dinner is served.
Come on, both of you. Come sit down. Let's.
Which one of us gets a high chair?
Why are you doing this?
Now, why you? You called me, invite me to come down here to spend a couple of weeks with you. Just mother and son, you said. But you didn't mention anything about Junior here being a part of it.
James the Third, Lance. I'm no junior.
Oh, no, you just wait a minute.
Where are you going?
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Since when?
Since the day you were born. James has been the best thing to happen to me in years. Look at me. I look better. I feel better. I wanted to share this with you.
Look, when I was in Arizona, I used to have to read the papers to find out where you were, or who you just married or divorced. And even my father,
Your father? I fought your father for custody.
Yeah, and fell on your knees in gratitude when you lost.
No, that's not true. Do you have any idea how I fought? How many lawsuits I filed? Your father only wanted you to get back at me.
Thank you for telling me that.
I didn't mean that. I can't say anything without you taking it.
Mother! When I was in school, I used to get in bloody fights with the other kids defending you. They used to have a special question they used to like to ask me. Hey, Lance, where's that drunken slut of a mother of yours now?
Oh, baby.
But it's too late. Because the fact is, as hard as I fought them, that's the way I felt too. Where was that drunken slut of a mother of mine? Face it, you never wanted a child.
How can you say that?
Because you said it to the general. 3 generations, Mom. Franklin, you, and me. Franklin didn't want you. And I don't either.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a real son of a bitch. Hey, good luck, kid. Maybe she'll raise you better than me.
Barbara? Barbara? Where are you going?
Back to Tangier. Back to Never Never Land. Thank you. Like a leaf gum or something? Sure. Thank you.
magic elixir.
Let me. Barbara! Barbara!
Please sit down.
James, darling. It's me. Oh, no! It's James, It's James. It's okay.
Would you please sit down? Please sit down. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Please take your seat. Please take your seat. Everything is fine. Yes, everything's fine. Please take your seats. Gentlemen, ma'am, could you please take your seat? Excuse me. Please take your seats. Everything's fine. Please take your seats.
Darling, if you're trying to kill yourself, I can't stop you.
Oh, Mrs. Macaulay, I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you. Nice of you to come. I knew you'd lose sooner or later.
I didn't know it was a game. Your guests are waiting for you.
Tell them to leave.
They want you to make an appearance. They won't go otherwise.
Then pay them to leave and go with them.
What the hell are you doing this? God! I don't know what to do anymore. Every time I see you like this, it's like I'm the one you're trying to hurt.
I want you to leave. I don't want you to waste your life on me anymore.
Barbara, I don't feel it's a waste. You need me. We've always been magic together.
Magic? What magic? I have no magic. My grandfather said there would be magic. Where is my magic? Go on. Get out of here. You're only gonna make me end up hating you. Don't make me do that. You gave me a couple of my years back. I'll remember those.
There she is.
Huh? Who is that blonde man with her?
That's Lloyd Franklin, her new boyfriend.
Ah, so that's him.
Oh, brother dear. She is the ideal bride, vulnerable and rich. We could get whatever we wanted from her.
And what about this new boyfriend? They say he really loves her, you know?
Of course he does. That's why she'll never marry him. She'll send the boy packing for his own good, and that's when we slip in.
We? I thought I was the one marrying her.
Raymond, brother dear, this is my plan, and I intend to get a share in its reward.
They say she loves Far Eastern poetry. Now, you are the poet in the family. Why don't you get your pen out?
How dare you say that to me?
Barbara, Mrs. Macaulay was at the next table. She overheard them.
The poems aren't from Raymond, they're from his older brother Maurice. It's all been planned.
Maurice writes the love poems, Raymond sends them. Barbara, the brothers know all about you. They know about your interest in poetry and Eastern religion. The whole thing's a plan to seduce you.
You think so little of me that you believe he's only doing this to get at my money?
That's what I think has been happening. Yes.
We've been friends for a very long time, David. I think it's best for our friendship if you leave now.
Barbara.
Now!
Some of us do love you. Because we're just as weak and as strong and as frightened as you are. That's why we cling to one another. Comfort for the slowly dying. They just want you for your money, Barbara. And when we're gone, who'll be left to help?
I see what's holding her, Blanche.
That goes for you, too.
Just like that? I take care of you, Barbara. I see to it that you sleep when you can't sleep. I run your errands. I pour your wine. I scrape your plate. I lift you off the floor when you're drunk. You need me.
Why don't you think Raymond Warren could love me?
Oh, because you're impossible. No man could love you.
Don't you think I know that? You're my friend. You could at least lie. Since you can, I think you should leave.
Barbara!
Just leave!
Rumor has it that the brothers Dwan receive $1.5 million each for their services. Is that true?
You know how wicked rumors can be, Jimmy. Look what they've done to you.
Well, this is the result of the facts of life, not rumor, Graham. Raymond take his orders from you? From his brother? Having a pusher in the family must cut down on costs.
You don't look at all well, Jimmy.
Dög votre union, dög pour l'éternité.
It's time.
You have to go. When will I see you again?
You remember a long time ago that we made a pact that we would race through life as fast as we could, as well as we could. Get it over with. Up until today, I thought I was winning this little race of ours, but Pepsi, you just jump way in front of me.
I hope so, Jimmy.
I'll see you on the finish line.
Don't go.
This little piece of property is beautiful. I mean, when you see this cabin...
Lance. It's gonna be a great weekend.
I promise.
Nice. Vance.
What's wrong?
It's stalling.
Vance.
Start! I don't know. It's... Oh, God.
I sold the Cuernavaca house.
How much?
500,000.
I spent $3.5 million on it.
Different market, Barbara.
Different partner this time, Graham.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you sell the house to yourself? And a partner as a cover? Did you sell my flat in Paris to the same partner? Is that why I got so little for it?
I've done nothing to feel guilty for.
Oh, then you've led a dull life, Graham. I think you've been staging a garage sale for 20 years. Almost all my jewelry. Most of my property. Liquid assets, they call it. I think you're a drowning man.
I earned every penny. Do you know how many telephone calls I've gotten from total strangers saying that Miss Hutton had promised them tuition, a fur coat, a second honeymoon? A telephone operator who now wears a $25,000 sable coat because Miss Hutton liked the sound of her voice.
It's nearly all gone, isn't it?
Just about.
What if I live too long?
Don't look so glum, kid. I am about to spring a couple million for you.
Doctors inhabit the first circle of hell. Lawyers, the second. Did I ever tell you what I think of you, Graham? I think you are the biggest con artist I've ever met. Now get out of here.
bring me a necklace.
Which one, Princess?
The only one I have left. He must see me in my pearls.
He's here, Princess.
Hey, you.
Carrie. My mother left me a note when she died. Live only for the moment, she wrote. Never trust a man's arms to protect you. When he's through holding you, all you feel is the coldness of vacant space. Love steals your youth, leaves you wasted.
Did it ever occur to you that she was wrong?
I loved her. I wanted to be just like her. Our Lance is gone. Jimmy died alone in his flat. When Lance died, I felt his breath on my skin.
It's all right. It's gonna be all right.
I've lived a hell of a life. A lot of people had a good time in the backseat. Think how I would have disappointed everyone if I'd behaved myself. No. They'll look at my death and say, see, where did it get her? From here to there in style.
Barbara Hutton died in 1979 at the age of 66 and was placed in the Woolworth crypt next to her mother and her son. At the time of her death, Barbara Hutton had less than $3,500 on deposit in her bank accounts.